Good morning, everybody. It's time for your Farm and Ranch News, and Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to 2011. With us on the program this morning is my good friend Henry Kornegay with Jackson Commodities. And Henry, let's talk about these commodity markets and start first with the wheat markets, because as we look back into 2010, it turned out to be a phenomenal year for U.S. wheat markets.
Russell, it was a great year. You know, we started off on kind of a sour note as we had a large supply of wheat in the U.S. We also had large world stocks, and the market was in the doldrums mostly. We weren't real high historically. We also weren't very low. And then about mid-year, we ran into the problem with the Russian crop and the Ukrainian crop, Black Sea wheat. They cut the exports off in coming out of Russia, and as you saw, the wheat market took off to the top side. So there's a lot of potential there as we started to deplete the world market as far as the carryover goes. Then to add to that, when we got into the Canadian crop, you know, we had problems there with the quality of the spring wheat up there. That added fuel to the fire, took us to the next level higher. And then as we get into the end of the year this year, of course, we have the problems in Australia. They've got a lot of rain in the eastern part of the wheat belt down there. There's expectations that as much as 60% of that Australian crop is going to come out as feed wheat. Well, that's good for the U.S. producer. The world's going to have to look to us for some good wheat.
So in the 30 seconds before we head to break, as you look into your crystal ball for now, 2011, what's your advice for wheat farmers here in the Northern Plains?
What we're doing right now is, if you need protection on your wheat, do nothing more than buy some pure protection. Look at buying some put options. Don't get in front of this market by selling calls against it or hedging futures, anything like that. There's a lot of potential that we can still draw down the world grain stocks as we go. The Russian crop, we understand they might write as much as 10 to 20% of that crop off because of winter kill this year and problems they have there. Egypt's a big buyer. They were out this week. They bought about 150,000 tons of U.S. and Argentine wheat.
Very good. Henry Kornegay with Jackson Commodities. Stay with us. We'll have more right after this. Continuing our conversation this morning with Henry Kornegay with Jackson Commodities out of Billings, Montana, kind of talking about where these markets are headed in this brand new marketing year. Henry, before the break, talking about wheat. Let's switch gears, put a new hat on. What about the cattle markets?
Russell, the cattle market has a tremendous potential for producers next year. We're seeing prices now that, you know, we sold cattle at 107 this last week with big numbers coming out of Nebraska, Texas. The industry is current. Our weights are about 6 pounds dressed under a year ago at this time of the year, when normally we should have weights that could be equal to or maybe a little bit better. We're going to get tight numbers right after the first part of the year. We should pick our numbers up going into the summer as we usually do, and then the third and fourth quarter next year we could see some real good prices in the livestock market again.
And like for the wheat farmer, there's also those risk management tools available for cow-calf guys and feeders to maybe take advantage of these higher prices.
Oh, sure. Again, you know, if somebody's looking for protection with his lender, put options are the way to go. Again, personally, I wouldn't get in front of this market. I think the potential is there to see all-time high prices again.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by and giving us your prognosis for 2011.
You bet.
Henry Kornegay with Jackson Commodities. That's a look at your Farm and Ranch News for this Monday morning. I'm Russell Nemitz.